Imagine a silence so heavy it feels like it could crush your ribs. You are sitting on a cold stone floor. Outside, the sun is shining on the streets of Rome, or perhaps Athens, or a village in medieval France. Life is happening. Carts are rolling. People are laughing. But in here, in this dark room, your life has effectively ended. You didn't kill anyone. You didn't steal bread to feed a starving child. You committed a crime of the heart. You fell in love. Or perhaps you simply sought a moment of warmth in a cold marriage. And for that, history has prepared a nightmare for you. They say all is fair in love and war, but in the ancient world, the war was often against love. What they did to women who cheated wasn't just punishment, it was a systematic destruction of identity. It was the carving of shame into flesh. Today, we are going to walk into that dark room. We are going to feel the fear they felt. And be warned, what you find there might change how you look at the past forever. Before we descend into this history, ask yourself one question. If the law demanded your life for a mistake of the heart, would you survive? Let's transport ourselves to the height of the Roman Empire. We often think of Rome as a place of hedonism, of wine and freedom. But under the surface, it was a cage of iron discipline. Meet Julia, not just any woman, but the daughter of the Emperor Augustus. She has everything: power, wealth, beauty. But she is trapped in a political marriage, a cold alliance devoid of affection. Her heart beats against the marble walls of her existence, desperate for a rhythm that matches her own. When she finds a lover, it feels like breathing for the first time. It is a cracked door to sunlight. But in Rome, the father holds the power of life and death, the pater familias. When her father, the emperor, discovers her infidelity, he doesn't see a daughter seeking happiness. He sees a political liability, a stain on his moral crusade. The punishment for a woman of her status wasn't always immediate execution. Sometimes it was worse. It was total isolation. Augustus banished his own daughter to a tiny windswept island called Pandateria. No wine, no men, no company. Imagine standing on that cliff. The wind is screaming in your ears, drowning out your memories. You went from the center of the world to a ghost. This was the psychological torture of the ancient world. They didn't just want to hurt her body, they wanted to starve her soul. Day after day, watching the horizon, knowing that the empire you loved continues without you. You are a living ghost. She must have wondered, looking at the crashing waves, was the touch of his hand worth this eternity of silence? As we move forward in time or travel east to the banks of the Nile, the psychological torture transforms into physical horror. The goal shifted. It wasn't enough to banish the woman. Society wanted to make her a walking billboard of her sin. In ancient Egypt and later in medieval Europe, the face was the target. If a woman's beauty was the temptation, then the law would destroy the beauty. This brings us to the most visceral punishment, rhinotomy, the removal of the nose. Imagine the brutality of that moment. The physical pain is blinding, a red explosion of agony. But the true torture begins when the wound heals. Every time she looks in a mirror, looking for herself, she sees a monster. Every time she walks to the market, the crowd parts like a terrified sea. She is no longer a person. She is a cautionary tale made of flesh and bone. Her identity has been surgically removed. She can never hide. She can never start over. The broken window of her face lets everyone see her shame.
Get her!
It was a sentence of living death, a way to say,
Leave me be.
you dared to desire? Now no one will ever desire you again. It was a calculation of cold masculine cruelty designed to ensure ownership.
But for some, exile or disfigurement was a mercy they were denied. In certain eras, the punishment was absolute erasure. There was a punishment known as the Poena Cullei, the punishment of the sack. While often reserved for parricide, the method echoes the ultimate fate of many adulteresses in the ancient world – drowning. Try to inhabit this moment. You are bound. You are placed inside a leather sack. Sometimes, to add a layer of nightmare, they would place live animals inside with you – a viper, a rooster, a dog. The air is hot, smelling of terror and leather. Then, the sensation of being lifted. The cold water hits the fabric. You feel the weightlessness of the descent. It is a dark womb of death. As the water seeps in, the panic sets in. It is the ultimate claustrophobia. You are screaming, but the water swallows the sound. This wasn't just execution. This was an attempt to wash the sin from the earth, to ensure that not even the woman's grave remained. She was to be forgotten, dissolved into the depths of history. We look at these statues now, white and pristine in our museums. We admire the laws and the architecture of the ancients, but we often forget the blood that cemented these stones. These women, Julia, the nameless Egyptian wife, the medieval peasant, they were not monsters. They were human beings caught in a web of strict social contracts where their bodies were property and their hearts were liabilities. They struggled. They made choices in a world that gave them none, and they paid a price that shocks us today. But their stories force us to confront uncomfortable truths about control, jealousy, and the fear of female autonomy. We like to think we have evolved. We like to think we are civilized. But the emotions that drove these punishments – possessiveness, public shame, the need to control – are they truly gone, or have they just changed shape? Would you risk it? I want to leave you with this thought. If you lived in a time where a stolen kiss could cost you your nose or your life, would you have followed the rules, or is the human need for connection worth any price? Let me know in the comments below. How would you have survived history?